To any young person, a single pimple or blemish is enough to throw them into a state of frustration and distress. Yet to my friend Basit, this would be the least of his concerns. He suffers from EB, a genetic condition that causes uncontrollable outbursts of wounds and blisters across the skin. His skin in turn struggles to repair itself, and he is thus left covered in open wounds across his body.
Another name for my condition is actually butterfly baby, because the wounds are everywhere and you're just wrapping the bandage and it's like a cocoon.
Butterfly Boy, a story of patience. What's it like living with this skin condition?
It's hard because I have to basically, I'm immobile for the most part. So my day entails me being on my bed for the most part. I can't really walk. You just look at the way people walk and run and you can't help but think, I wish I could do that. Like, how does that feel?
As difficult as this was all to hear, the treatment process Basit goes through is another tribulation in and of itself. For hours on end, he sits like this, cutting, wrapping, bandaging, and applying ointment just to maintain the status of his condition. Basit, do you do this every day?
Every day. If I don't do it every day, it passes and oozes and smells and stuff, so I've got to do it every day. On a bath day, it takes 6 hours. On a normal everyday thing, it takes like 4 hours.
I couldn't fathom the magnitude of what he goes through every single day. I couldn't imagine what it was like to be locked in a room for up to 7 hours on end, crouched over in painstaking treatment. It kind of reminded me of the story of Ayub, the great prophet of Allah, who was also afflicted with an agonizing skin condition that left him bedridden and outcasted from society. Yet despite it all, his heart was able to remain firm, a challenge that Basit finds himself facing every single day. How important is faith to you in your condition?
I think without faith, if I'm brutally honest, what is my life without faith? I would have considered suicide a long time ago, because I don't know. For me personally, I'm speaking to myself. It's just all of going through all of this pain, the day by day, going through these hours of just hardship and pain and suffering, and seeing others like suffer because of you as well, to a certain extent. And what's the point? If there's no faith, what's the point? If at the end there's nothing there, what's the point?
Islam gives meaning and purpose to his suffering like nothing else could. It was simple: stay patient today and attain Allah's pleasure tomorrow.
When I hear about the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when I hear about His promise, the thought of being able to be with Him, persevering and struggling to be with Him, like faith, it's something that's so easy for me to reconcile with as well. It's like, this is not our utopia. Persevere, have some sabr, and inshallah, in the day of judgment, inshallah, we'll see the fruits of our labor. This gives me purpose.
The perseverance Basit shows is nothing short of inspiring. He understands that life is a test, and he's in a race to stay steadfast until the very end. 2 years ago, Basit's older brother Milad preceded him in this race and sadly passed away. Like Basit, Milad also suffered from EB, but in his case, it was much worse. And how was that like to lose your brother?
It's really hard in that sense when you lose a part of you. Not having him around, that support, I learned so much from him. I think a lot of my ability to tolerate and my strength comes from seeing him being so much worse than I am. When I would think of how much he would suffer and struggle, and like, it's just, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose both of us. He just picked us out from all of the creation, just picked us out and just giving us bonus points. In the day of judgment, inshallah, for him especially, imagine the rank that he would be with his patience as well that I witnessed. So like, when I go to his grave and I see that, it's just, I think to myself, instead of me weeping for him being gone, like he's weeping for us still chained into this struggle.
Throughout his tribulation, Basit has managed to stay firm, not only staying patient spiritually, but also in his daily affairs. He has graduated from university, made many friends, and even performed Umrah with myself a couple of years ago. But behind his story of resilience, there is also one other secret that keeps him going forward.
Religion has been the bedrock of my life, but my parents are the other factor. Like, alhamdulillah for them. That's all I can say. Alhamdulillah for my parents, because they made it so I don't have to worry at all. When I have these problems and stuff like that, I can only think about these problems. In my mind, like, I don't even have to think about them. They never complain. It's so normal. They make it so normal. That normalcy is something that I'm so grateful for them.
If you could give them one thing, what would it be?
I pray for my parents. I pray for my parents all the time. Like, Firdaus al-A'la, if they could get Firdaus, if they could go to Jannah, more than anything, for me, for them to reunite in Jannah, more than anything, like, for us to reunite in Jannah. Because for me, deep down, I feel like this is a test, and I can feel that this is a test. And I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making me feel that it's a test. The real life, when I will actually wake up with my family, inshallah, is in the next life. You can't forget that. I can't forget that.
Basit's story is truly a modern example of patience that we can all admire and learn from. I ask Allah to raise Basit amongst the patient, to make him of those whom He loves, and of course, those who are rewarded in abundance.